all the problems we had with the VA, it didn't get better. It's only gotten worse. But, well, we doubled the budget. Yeah, okay, you doubled the budget, but where did the money go? If you doubled the budget for all these vets coming over, how come you still had to put people on lists? Don't you think that somebody should have said, look, I know we doubled the budget, but we don't have enough money to take care of all these patients, so we might need some more. Let's at least ask that we need more. At least bring this problem, bring this problem up and let's discuss it. Maybe there's a way we can do something where we can help these people. But no, nobody wants to say anything. Well, if you do, you might lose your job. Why? Well, because you rocked the boat and you tattled on somebody. You can't tattle on people, so people have to just be quiet and let things happen. Meanwhile, people are dying. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. I can't understand how people could put somebody on a list knowing full well that this person's not going to get any care and they will die. To me, that's murder. Okay, you didn't exactly take the knife and jab it in their heart, but you might as well have. These people need to go to jail. This again. How many murders have we had? We had Fast and Furious. We had one murder. We had at least 4 in Benghazi. And I say at least because we don't actually know the real number. Now it finds out that the new email, minutes after they found out that, our embassy was being attacked and our president is still up eating, the little spinmeisters down there in the Situation Room started calling up YouTube and saying, you better do something about this video of this pastor, whatever his name is. There's going to be ramifications. There's going to be problems. You got to do something with this video. So they're already trying to spin it. Evidently, it was a few hours after this happened. Actually, you know what? I think it's right around the time after Obama gets done with his little phone conversation, him and Valerie Goebbels, and Valerie then goes to the Situation Room, and Barack Obama is nowhere to be found. The president of the United States, nowhere to be found. That's right around the time. Now there's a couple of dots starting to get connected here. So Valerie Goebbels goes down after the 2-hour phone conversation and after their dinner. The president goes MIA. I think he was downstairs practicing his bowling. I don't know what he was doing. Nobody knows. Probably taking a nap. I don't know. Nobody knows. But Valerie Goebbels was down there in the Situation Room. Right around that time, that's when they called YouTube. So that's got to be her idea, right? I think so. Sounds plausible to me. Why would you want to spin something like that? Why would you want to spin a terrorist attack? Why not just call it a terrorist attack? Oh, that's right. They were doing weapons deals over there. Very sensitive. Very sensitive. You can't let anybody know what's going on there. Because if the rest of the world finds out that the United States of America was facilitating weapons in the hands of Al-Qaeda, that wouldn't look good, especially if they're French and Russian weapons. You're going to get a lot of people pissed off. They didn't want that. Plus, there was an election coming up. And the president had to be reelected. Because those racist Tea Partiers can't have that. Can't have freedom for everybody. Freedom is only for us. We're the Democrats. But getting back to the scuttlebutt of the day, the whistleblower, Thomas Fiore, a VA police officer in Miami. I don't know what the hell's going on in Florida. In Texas, I still don't know what the hell's going on there. There's a lot of battles going on. You've got Al-Qaeda moving in. You've got the Mexican drug cartels moving in. Jesus God. We're Americans. We need to start moving them out. I'm sorry, but we got Homeland Security, we got FBI, we got National Guard, we got Marine Corps, we got the Army. What the hell are we doing? This is our border. This is our country. Doesn't the Constitution somewhere say provide for the common defense? Pretty sure it does. Matter of fact, if my memory doesn't fail me, I think it's in the very first sentence. But I mean, I could be wrong. I sometimes am wrong. Very seldom, but when I am, I am. So this guy's trying to say, hey, man, we got all kinds of problems here. Patients are getting beat up. Patients are dealing drugs and using drugs in the drug treatment program. So he filled out this report, and he highlighted a 27-year-old Iraq War veteran. Name is Nicholas Todd Cutter, who overdosed on drugs shortly. Now get this. He overdoses on drugs shortly before he is supposed to graduate from this drug treatment program. Well, I think at the drug treatment program, there's probably people in there that do know when people are using. You're in the hospital, I don't know. I mean, a lot of things to me, it just seems, with all of this stuff going on, it just seems everybody is afraid to say something. Now you've got this one guy. Well, he goes out there and he says something, and then guess what happens? Well, he gets moved. He gets moved to a clerical position. They wanted to get rid of him. When you've got something like physical abuse to patients at a hospital, the whole point of going to the hospital is when you need to get fixed because you come in broken. Come in broken and leave brokener. That's not the purpose of a hospital. Why it is in the VA, I don't know. Everybody's afraid to say something because they're going to lose their job. Well, what's more important, your goddamn stupid little job or people dying? Because you're afraid to say something so you can keep your job. Well, this guy is not backing down, and good for him. He still works there. He doesn't care. He goes on TV. He's not afraid to tell his story, and good for him. We need more people like this. I'm sorry. We've got a lot of problems. I'm not saying that you got to be a tattletale, because being a tattletale, again, crying wolf. We all know what happens when you cry wolf. Well, when the real wolf comes, he eats your chickens. And then what? Well, you're chickenless, and you go hungry. He says there are just so many things that have occurred that are just an absolute disgrace. He said when he tried to bring a report or tried to report drug dealing among the patients, patient abuse, and missing drugs from the pharmacy, he was either ignored or attempts to investigate the incidences were thwarted, meaning people went out of their way to make sure that his investigation would not go through. Why would you do that? You're running a hospital. Somebody comes up to you and says, yeah, your patients are getting physically abused. They're stealing narcotics out of your pharmacy. They're selling them. They're using them. That's theft. I mean, you've got something like that, and you're just going to ignore it, and you're going to punish the person for telling you that. Now, if you're going to come up to your supervisor and say, hey, so and so keeps eating my lunch. I put it in the refrigerator, I put my name on it, and then she keeps eating it, or he keeps eating it. Okay, that's ridiculous. But when a patient is getting physically abused, they're stealing narcotics from the pharmacy that are supposed to go to patients who need them. So is there like an endless supply? What are they doing? How is somebody not noticing this? Going, how come we keep running out of Oxycontin and Percocet and all this other stuff? How do we keep running out of that? Well, we don't know. Let's just order more. Well, the people who are accepting these orders and then filling them going, wait a minute. How come they keep using this much stuff? How can they keep ordering? What the hell are they doing with them pills? What the hell's going on? Nobody noticed that. Well, obviously they did. But why people are afraid to say anything, I don't know. Why is that in the government that you can't say anything, otherwise you're going to lose your job? Why is that in the government, that you're not allowed to say anything? Oh, that's right. The government has to get away with anything that they want because they're the government, because it says it in the Constitution, that they can get away with anything that they want. I don't know. My Constitution that I have in my hands right here, it doesn't say that at all. It restricts the government from doing the things that they do. It doesn't give them the power to do the things that they do. And why you would do this with life? I mean, regardless of whether they're a veteran. I mean, I do believe veterans should get. I mean, you got a veteran? Okay, come on in. No questions asked. Come on in. Let's fix you up. Come on, kid. But these are human beings. It should be that anyway. You're in a hospital. Oh, you're banged up? You're screwed up? Come on in. Let's fix you. We'll worry about the bills and all this other crap later. Right now, let's get you fixed. To me, I mean, again, I'm a simpleton. I know. Frickin' simpleton. But he gets reassigned, and they just want to get rid of him. But the Miami VA, the healthcare system spokesman, Shane Suzuki, they always got to have spokesmen. Why can't people speak for themselves? Why do you need a person to speak for you? I'm getting tired of that. Yeah, I do understand there are times, the State Department and the President, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But when you got cases like this and you got crises like this, the person in charge should step up and actually speak for themselves. But they don't want to do that because they don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to say the wrong thing and then lose their job. Well, again, what's more important? Losing your precious little job, and what do you do all day anyway besides screw things up? What's more important? That little job of yours, or making sure that patients aren't being physically abused? Making sure that they're not stealing narcotics out of the goddamn pharmacy? ODing on them, selling them. You can't come out and make a speech. I mean, the president comes out, and he's talking about the VA, supposed to be speaking from the heart. And he's reading, shuffling his papers. No, don't you don't come out there and read a goddamn speech. Especially after you were warned about this. Now, look, should the Bush administration done something too? Yeah. Should the Clinton administration done something? Yeah. First Bush? Yeah. Reagan? Yeah. Carter? Yeah. This is a government problem. This is a government problem. And we, the people, need to fix it. And the first thing that we need to do to combat it is we need to stop accepting it. And thank God, I do sense a lot of people coming together. Democrats and Republicans. It doesn't matter. This is an American thing. This is not a political thing. And what do the Democrats do immediately? Boom! Got to turn it into a political matter. This is not about politics. This is about human life, for God's sakes, man. I mean, my God, why? How can these people do this stuff? I don't understand how you can turn a blind eye. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. Physical abuse? No. Yeah, I don't know how you can do it. How can you turn a blind eye to that? Why would you do that? Combat veteran comes over, yeah, he's got some mental problems. Okay, well, that's going to happen in war. You don't have to beat him because you can't program him. That's another thing people need to get this out of their goddamn systems. Human beings are not computers. You can't program them. Teachers don't like that. They don't like the fact that they can't program these little students. And when they get out of line, well, the only thing they know how to do is call the police. They got to put handcuffs on children. Look, cop, I'm sorry, but you're going to put handcuffs on a child? I mean, and not for nothing, but you're missing the point of your job. And you shouldn't have your job. Well, the stupid spokesman, Shane Suzuki, like we really give a damn his stupid name. He's an idiot. Said the Fiore's claims have no evidence to back them up. Of course they don't. Everybody's got to go on the defensive mode. They should come out there and say, hey, look, these are serious allegations. We take them very seriously. The actual person should have come out here, not the spokesman. Whoever's in charge. I don't know who's in charge. It doesn't matter to me. We take these allegations seriously, and we're going to look into them. Actually, something like this, they should have known about it a long time ago. Why? Well, because when it was first reported, it should have gone up the chain of command. It should have gone up before the goddamn media hit it. Why does it take the media to do something? I mean, the media, sometimes hey, look, sometimes the media can be effective, and they can get something done. But when you have 4 of your American brothers murdered because this administration was selling weapons to Al-Qaeda, well, not really selling them, but through backdoor channels, but they were facilitating it. They were making damn sure that those weapons went into the hands of Al-Qaeda. You know, those guys that flew a bunch of airplanes into our buildings and killed a whole bunch of our people. Yeah, those guys. And a whole bunch of other bad dudes. So let's blame it on a video. How can you do that? How can you look at human life that well, that's I guess you're not looking at human life. You're not looking at the people as life. You're looking at them as, I don't know, a character in a movie, a game piece, a billet number. I don't know. I'm trying to guess here, trying to figure it out. But these are people.